There are moments in life when the pain feels endless. Nights when you stare at the ceiling asking God, how much longer? Days when your heart carries silent battles nobody can see. You smile in front of people, but deep inside, you feel tired, disappointed, maybe even forgotten. But hear this tonight. God did not bring you this far to abandon you now. The chapter that broke you is not the chapter that will define you. God is closing your painful chapter, and victory is closer than you think. Before this message ends, something inside your spirit is going to rise again. The hope you almost lost will begin to breathe again. The tears you cried in secret were never ignored by heaven. God saw every lonely night. He heard every silent prayer. And while you thought nothing was changing, He was preparing something greater than you imagined. Sometimes God allows storms not to destroy you, but to reveal the strength He placed inside you. The enemy wanted your pain to convince you that your story was over. But God is saying, this is not the end. I am still writing your story. You may have lost people you loved. You may have watched doors close in your face. You may have prayed for things that never happened the way you expected. And maybe now you feel emotionally exhausted. But listen carefully. Delays are not denials. Silence does not mean God is absent. Some of the greatest miracles begin in seasons that feel the darkest. There are people listening right now who almost gave up. You carried pain for so long that it became part of your identity. You became used to disappointment, used to heartbreak, used to surviving instead of truly living. But Jesus did not create you just to survive. He created you to overcome. He created you to walk in peace, purpose, strength, and victory. The pain you experienced was real. God is not ignoring your wounds. He knows what betrayal feels like. He knows what rejection feels like. Jesus Himself was rejected, mocked, abandoned, and wounded. That is why He understands your tears in a way nobody else can. When the world walked away from you, Jesus stayed close. Even when you could not feel Him, He was beside you in every moment. Sometimes God closes chapters because they cannot go where He is taking you. Some relationships had to end. Some disappointments had to happen. Some plans had to fall apart because your future is bigger than your past. What hurts today may become the testimony that saves someone tomorrow. You have cried enough. You have worried enough. You have carried fear long enough. This is the season where God begins to lift the heaviness from your heart. You are entering a new chapter filled with healing, wisdom, restoration, and unexpected favor. The enemy whispered, "You will never recover." But God says, "Watch what I can do with a surrendered heart." People may not understand your struggle because they only saw your smile. They did not see the nights you fought anxiety alone. They did not see the prayers spoken through tears. They did not see how hard you tried to stay strong when your heart was breaking. But heaven saw it all, and heaven has not forgotten you. God often works quietly before He works suddenly. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees the harvest. And maybe right now you are in that hidden season. Nothing looks different. Nothing feels changed. But beneath the surface, God is preparing your breakthrough. One day you will look back and realize that the season that almost broke you actually built you. It taught you how to trust God deeply. It taught you that human strength is limited, but God's power is endless. It taught you that even when life changes, God remains faithful. Do not let temporary pain make permanent decisions for you. The chapter is ending. The darkness will not last forever. Morning always comes after the night. God is healing your heart in places nobody can see. Every painful memory, every disappointment, every scar, He is touching it with His grace. You may still feel weak, but God's strength shines brightest in weakness. There is someone listening right now who feels behind in life. You compare yourself to others and wonder why your journey has been so difficult. But your path is different because your calling is different. God is not late in your life. He is intentional. Every closed door protected you from something that was not meant for you. Every delay prepared you for something greater. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. You are deeply loved by God. You are still here for a reason. The enemy tried to bury your confidence, your peace, your future and your faith. But what he meant for destruction, God will use for your growth. Sometimes God allows pressure because diamonds are created under pressure. The battle you faced was shaping your character, your endurance, and your testimony. There are blessings coming into your life that will not make sense to the people who doubted you. God is able to restore years of pain in ways you never imagined. He can bring peace after chaos, joy after sorrow, purpose after confusion. And maybe you have been asking God, why did this happen to me? Sometimes we may never fully understand every painful moment, but we can trust the heart of a God who sees the full picture. A child may not understand why surgery hurts, but the doctor knows healing is coming. In the same way, God sees what you cannot see. The chapter that hurt you was not meant to destroy you forever. It was meant to prepare you for a stronger future. Sure, you are becoming wiser, stronger, more compassionate, more dependent on God. And now, victory is near, not because you are perfect, not because you earned it, but because God is faithful. God specializes in impossible situations. He opens doors no one can shut. He restores hearts people thought would never heal. He brings light into impossible darkness. The same God who carried David through battles, the same God who protected Daniel in the lion's den, the same Jesus who calmed the storm with his voice, that same power is still working today. And that same God is fighting for you even now. You may not see it yet, but things are shifting. Your healing is beginning. Your breakthrough is forming. Your prayers are being heard. Your future is being prepared. The enemy wants you discouraged because he knows how close you are to your breakthrough. Some of you are standing one step away from the answered prayer you almost stopped believing for. Do not quit now. Do not lose faith now. God did not wake you up today by accident. There is still purpose attached to your life. There are still people you are meant to inspire. There are still blessings with your name on them. And yes, life wounded you, but your wounds are not wasted in God's hands. Jesus can turn pain into purpose. He can turn mourning into joy. He can turn brokenness into beauty. Some of the strongest people are those who kept trusting God while carrying invisible pain. And if that is you, heaven is proud of your endurance. You may feel unnoticed by people, but you are never unnoticed by God. When Jesus looks at you, he does not see failure. He does not see your worst mistakes. He sees someone worth dying for. That is how valuable you are to him. The cross was proof that God's love is greater than your shame, greater than your fear, and greater than your past. Stop condemning yourself for what God has already forgiven. Stop calling yourself broken when God calls you redeemed. Stop believing the lies that say your life will never change. Your story is still unfolding. Sometimes God removes people from your life because he heard conversations you did not hear. Sometimes he blocks opportunities because he sees dangers you cannot see. What feels like rejection may actually be divine protection. Trust him even when it hurts. Trust him when answers are delayed. Trust him when life feels uncertain, because one day, everything will make sense. There is peace coming to your home. There is healing coming to your heart. There is clarity coming to your mind. There is restoration coming to your life. And the beautiful thing about God is this: he can bring victory even after seasons of failure. Peter denied Jesus, yet God still used him powerfully. Your mistakes do not cancel God's purpose for your life. Maybe you feel spiritually tired. Maybe you used to pray with passion, but pain made your heart distant. Even then, God is calling you back with love, not condemnation. He is not standing over you with anger. He is standing with open arms saying, "Come back to me. Let me carry what you cannot carry alone." Jesus is still the Prince of Peace. And his peace is not dependent on perfect circumstances. The world says peace comes when problems disappear. But God gives peace even in the middle of storms. That kind of peace cannot be explained. It can only be experienced. Tonight, release the burden you have been carrying. Release the fear. Release the anxiety. Release the bitterness. Release the pain of what did not happen. Give it to God. You were never meant to carry everything alone. Some of you have been strong for everybody else while silently falling apart inside. But God is strengthening you again. He is renewing your spirit. He is reminding you that even exhausted souls can be restored in His presence. The next chapter of your life will not look like the last one. The tears will not last forever. The heartbreak will not last forever. The confusion will not last forever. God is writing a new beginning. And when that new chapter begins, you will realize why certain things had to end. You will understand why God closed doors you begged Him to open. You will see how His protection was hidden inside your disappointment. Victory is not just about success. True victory is becoming who God created you to be despite everything you faced. And look at you. You survived what was supposed to destroy you. You kept going when life became heavy. You kept believing even when answers were delayed. That is strength. That is faith. That is proof that God has been carrying you all along. Do not let fear speak louder than God's promises. Fear says, nothing will change. But God says, I am making all things new. Fear says you are alone. But God says, I will never leave you. Fear says, your best days are behind you. But God says, your future is filled with hope. You are stepping into a season where peace will replace panic, where joy will replace heaviness, where faith will replace fear. And when the blessing finally arrives, when the healing finally comes, when the breakthrough finally happens, you will realize that God was faithful in every chapter, even the painful ones. Maybe the chapter was painful because it was teaching you to depend on God more than people. Maybe the waiting season was teaching patience. Maybe the heartbreak was teaching discernment. Maybe silence was teaching trust. God wastes nothing. Every tear had meaning. Every battle had purpose. Every prayer mattered. The enemy attacked you because there is greatness inside you. Darkness attacks what carries light. But no matter how intense the battle became, God kept you alive because your assignment is not finished yet. You still have purpose. You still have value. You still have a future. And your future is bigger than your pain. Jesus is calling you to lift your head again, to hope again, to believe again. Not because life is perfect, but because He is faithful. The chapter is closing. The season is changing. Healing is beginning. Victory is near. So breathe again, pray again, hope again, trust again, because the God who carried you through every dark night is about to show you that He never abandoned you for 1 second. And one day soon, you will stand in the middle of the blessings God promised and say, now I understand why I had to keep trusting Him. Until then, keep walking by faith. Keep believing when it is hard. Keep speaking hope over your life. Because God is not finished with you. Your story is not over. Your breakthrough is coming. Your healing is coming. Your peace is coming. And with Jesus beside you, your victory is closer than you think.